I've been watching your videos even before you started your channel. I think you were collaborating with people like before you started your channel, right? Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
yes, that gave me an edge, to be pretty honest here, because I wanted to see the reaction of people first.
Hmm.
I was quite scared, quite underconfident. However, I have worked in the industry for quite a bit time, but
Hmm.
it's something which I had never tried in my life before. So I just came up with the idea that first I'll go on YouTube, I'll collaborate, I'll see how people respond, how do they accept
Hmm.
me, and then I'll think of doing something of my own. And it worked well for me. So,
Hmm. Yeah, you're doing pretty well in such a short span of time. You're doing amazing. And yeah, it's
mhm.
crazy, right? Like when I wanted to contact you, I got to know like you don't even have a channel. Ever since then, I'm trying to contact you, it's crazy. But then I got to know that
Gosh,
you created your own channel and everything. So
I,
yeah.
I was not ready for that. It was never
Hmm.
there on my brain. I
Hmm.
mean, till until Jan, it was not there. But
Hmm.
then when I got amazing response and people really wanted to connect to me, I could see comments beneath the videos. That somehow made me more comfortable. And I thought of that people are kind to me and they are embracing
Hmm.
me. So I must definitely have something of my own where they can connect. So, um,
Hmm.
and it's quite, coincidental because one day I was just watching your videos and I know this is the same dialogue I'm repeating. I know repeating this. I saw Rajni saying
Hmm.
the same thing about you, that she thought she had a thought of connecting you. Same.
Hmm.
I watched your video. I had a thought of connecting you, and I was about to send you an email. And the very next morning, I got your email that, oh, Gayatri, I want to connect to you. It's like,
Hmm.
damn,
Yeah, what a
that was
small
like that.
world we live in. What a small world. Because yeah, also
Yeah,
Rajni also it happened the same thing. When I contacted her, she was like she wanted to contact as well, and then things just happen. So yeah, it's great.
yeah.
It's always good to
This is
take
what
the first
happened.
step. So now I'm pretty sure you feel good, right? You feel confident that you started a YouTube channel because, and maybe do you feel
Mm.
like you should have started it anyway without having so many doubts? Do you feel that?
Um, recently I had a conversation where I realized that we should not run behind perfection. And
Hmm.
I was quite mad about it. And I was waiting for the perfection. I was waiting for the time being. Oh, and I had always been contemplating over this is not the right time for me. This is not the right time. But
Hmm.
now I feel like that if, had I started it like 2 years back, 3 years back, when I started my journey as a English language trainer, that would
Hmm.
have been great for me. That would have worked like a magic. But somehow I have accepted my fate again and on the
Hmm.
path.
Yeah, I think YouTube is a really good place when you have to market something, right? Because you connect with the niche, it's perfect, right? Like you find the people
Hmm.
that just want to connect with you, have a conversation in English, become fluent, and you can help them, obviously. Yeah, for sure. All right, so
Yeah.
yeah, how's your day been going? How are you?
My day, it's like Saturday. So
Hmm.
Saturdays and Sundays are the days where I try to relax more, and when I just plan my next week, in a way that, okay, what do I want to post next week? Even
Hmm.
yesterday, I recorded one session. Today, just before this, I have recorded one of the sessions with Roshan. Gosh, that was such an amazing conversation
Hmm.
with the flow on reading. Now you are here, and I want to make it in a way as well. And you have that warmth, right? I'm not feeling confused, puzzled. I'm like, it's okay. This girl is making me talk like in any way, and I'm going
Hmm.
with the flow. So it's nice, quite relaxed, quite calm today. Generally, my day is quite packed. My days are very
Hmm.
packed. I have back-to-back schedules, sessions, things to plan on. But
Hmm.
today I'm relaxed. It's been going great. What about you?
Yeah, well, things are going pretty well. Started my morning pretty late, I think 10 a.m. But yeah, like that's what I usually do anyway. And yeah, like it's Saturday, so I had I think two sessions before this one. Yeah, two. And this is going to be the third one. And then I have one more planned. So actually, what happens is I prefer having sessions on weekdays, but people are free on Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm like, okay, well, we can adjust. Like we can find a middle ground. And yeah, the feelings are
Yeah,
mutual. Like
alhamdulillah.
I feel the warmth from your side as well. You feel like a very charming, welcoming person, somebody who can make, the person sitting in front like calm, confident. Because I was nervous before
So
this one.
kind of you.
Yeah.
Why? What made you nervous about this session
Okay, so
specifically?
I'll tell you like you're pretty big. Like I don't know if you know this or not, but in this field you're pretty big, well-known person because it's crazy. Like I told you like even before you started this channel of yours, you were very much
Mm-hmm.
known in this industry. So I kind of get nervous sometimes when I'm talking to somebody in such a big level. I don't know if I think you don't even have an idea how popular you are in this field.
Not really. I am like, it's okay. I am a big fan of a lot of YouTubers, and to
Hmm.
be honest, like when I was watching an interview with Sunita ma'am, I came across thing that see, I really do not want to repeat it. You must have been feeling really bored and bad about that. That every single one asks you about why did you drop your IIT and something like that,
Oh no,
right?
I don't.
But yeah, but then something which, and I swear, Niyati, just trust me and take my words. Before this session, I was just doing something, and for a moment, I had a thought that what is happiness? Like, what is this,
Hmm.
right? This girl who I'm going to talk is something who has left dreams of thousands of people across the country who cry, who dream day and night to be at such institutes, right? And she has left it, she has dropped it. So, what has intrigued her? What has, like made her to do that? In any way, but and right now, even I was very nervous. I was thinking that what would I talk to her? What would I discuss with her? It's
Hmm.
not about popularity and something, but somehow you think of that someone who has done that, like cracking IIT is not a small task. I know that. I have
Hmm.
been in touch with a lot of people and many of my friends who have been preparing for IIM, IT, IIT and all.
Hmm.
That was like crazy for me. So even I was, for a second, I was just blank. What would I talk to her? So,
Okay. Well, no, actually, we can talk about anything, literally anything. Because I usually don't come prepared, and then it's crazy. Like when I have no conversations planned, these are the conversations that go smoothest of all of them.
mm-hmm,
It always happens.
mm-hmm,
And like the Roshan thing you mentioned, right? The videos that you shoot with Roshan, it happened with me as well. We never plan anything in advance, and then we always have great conversations. Just happens.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
about
yeah,
IIT, well,
definitely.
yeah, I know like a lot of people would not agree with me, and it's okay. Like it's their opinion, like their life, and obviously I respect their opinion, but I just didn't feel like doing it. I just didn't feel like doing engineering. And then I was like, I just hit a pause because,
Mm-hmm,
asking yourself in this crowd, like, what do you truly want? It's really, really important because it comes to a point where like you set a goal, okay, you have achieved it, now what? Are you truly happy? Is that what you really wanted to do? So I think even
mm-hmm,
if it's YouTube, like before getting into anything, you should ask yourself, is that what you really want to get yourself into? It's really important.
mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, true,
that's
true, true.
hmm,
I believe that like being an English language trainer for almost 3.5 years, I started my journey in like officially I started my journey in April 2022,
hmm,
right? However, I had been helping people. I would not say I had been training them. I had been training or I had been helping them because I had been learning in that duration. Like, so I started my journey of English language in 2020 as a learner
hmm,
because I have never been to English medium schools. I come from very normal background where everyone around me talks in Hindi or the local languages we have. We have local languages Hindi only.
hmm,
So there I started my journey just 5 years back in 2020, and then it was like my first year of college. I was cased at home. Like lockdown happened in March.
hmm,
So there I started my journey, right? And even after being in the field as a learner, as a trainer, I feel what is next. Like, I do not want to box myself up as an English language trainer for lifetime. I don't see, to be honest, I don't see myself teaching or training people for the language in
hmm,
upcoming few years because somehow I want to experiment with my own personality. And I am very dynamic. I love being, I love learning about different stuff. So that's how I also feel about same about you. Like You
Hmm.
must have felt something that, oh, I want to try something else. I want to try my hand in something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that must have been the case with you.
Yeah, you know what? Experimenting is good. And I think people don't understand, but your 20s are made to be like the years where you can experiment what you want to do.
Yeah.
20s are meant to be figured out, like what do you want to do in life, purpose of life, what are your true goals and stuff like that. And because I talk to people in their 30s and 40s and they are pretty settled, they're like, yeah, like
Mhm.
the people that took the risk, they are the ones that are truly happy because they found their true happiness. And but I
Mhm.
agree, like not everybody is fortunate enough that they can just dive into whatever they want to. Sometimes it's like financial problems and everything, so they have to choose something. But side by side you can always do YouTube part time, you can do it.
Yeah.
And YouTube is such a great platform, right? You can do literally anything. You want to sing, you want to dance, you want to have podcasts like us, anything, literally anything.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I just
That
believe that,
is offers you a lot.
yeah, just never kill your dreams. Especially in your 20s, just try to figure out who you are. That's what I would say. All
Yeah.
right, so
Though somehow I'm not the one who gets very much comfortable with the philosophical quotes and things and like the purpose of life and whatnot. But I feel like that we live in a world which is like a 3D world, right? You can be experimental, you can see things
hmm,
in physical form. So how do you want to see? And like Niyati, the background I come from is like really hard to say that people are very limited with the mentality. Like my few of my relatives, they are doing good. My sister, one of my cousin is there in Canada, and they're fine. Like, but the kind of small town I come from, they don't know what is happening outside the world. Only few handful of, I would say, families, their kids are aware that what is happening. I think I at times I feel very proud of me that, oh, I leveraged internet and I researched a lot. So
hmm,
I feel like it's better to understand and just see what happens. So I remember a story that there is one of my students. She retired. She retired as a physics professor, and after that she is doing law. Right? So there are a lot of people who are doing things in their 50s, 40s, and 60s. I feel
hmm,
like, why can't I? Like, why do I want to box myself up in just like, oh, I see myself training people whole life? Why not other things, right? I can, oh, teaching is my passion, but not only English. I want to get into other things as well. So I feel that that's how it's very experimental journey, like my 20s to my 30s.
hmm. That's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of it. I love life.
Mm.
I love when people tell me their dreams, ambitions, and like what they are working towards, and I just love it. So, okay, one thing I wanted to discuss with you because you're an advanced English speaker, so I thought I could dive into a particular topic with you because you're obviously going to kill
Mhm.
it. Um, so I thought like we could talk about a simple topic, which is public speaking. Now, obviously, we are not doing it like physically present in front of thousands of people, but we are virtually doing it, right? Be it the solo
Mhm.
videos or the conversational videos with each other, also, right? So, what do you think makes somebody like what are the key factors that make a person feel like, yeah, these are the key factors that you need to become a good public speaker?
Okay, so I'll take few names of people who I really
Mm,
admire as public speakers. So one of them is like such a bold, courageous lady, Priyanka Chopra. She
mm,
has been my all-time favorite girl. She has always topped the list of mine. I feel what I believe as a person that first of all, when people come to me and they say that I want to be a public speaker, see, we have to understand or admit the fact that everyone doesn't get the chance to be on a stage and to
mm,
talk. Right? It's not possible for all of us to get that opportunity every single day being on a stage until unless we are celebrities. So we can just imagine that we are celebrities and we can just address people like, oh, I am a celebrity. But what are the key factors? I believe that first of all, they must have very clear command over the language. And so there is a difference between learning English as a language and then communicating to people. So when I talk about communication, public speaking, I never say that you are supposed to be perfect at English only. No, be perfect at your mother tongue, but know how to connect with your audience. That is one of the most important skills of a public speaker. You must know, you must research on your audience. You must
mm,
know who are you going to talk to. So if you are going to talk to people who are in their 50s, and then you talk to people who are just like teenagers, right? So there will be a huge difference. How do you address those people, right? So understand your audience, have a good command over the language, which is very
Hmm.
important. It could be any language in the world, but you must know how to articulate your thoughts. You must know how to voice your emotions and your thoughts and whatever you want to convey to your audience. So this is my second thing. Third, your body language, right?
Hmm.
So right now, even I'm sitting in front of you, I am trying my best to be confident as much as I can. I'm using my whole body right now. My whole body is dancing while talking to you. And that is something which connects because public speaking is not always about what you talk. It is always
Hmm.
about how you express it, how you put it out, how you make the people understand. So your body language speaks before you speak on stage. So once you start entering to the room of thousands of people or maybe 10, 20 people, your aura enters first, you enter, right?
Hmm.
So everything matters. And then third is body language. You must know how to stand. So when
Hmm.
I say you must know how to stand, I don't mean that try to be fake, sophisticated one. No, just understand the civic methods of standing on stage and just making people feel comfortable. They should not feel intimidated when you are on stage. They should not sleep when you are on stage, right?
Hmm.
So work on your body language. And fourth, I'd say that your modulation, your tone,
Hmm.
how you address them, right? So when you observe public speakers, like I have come across like hundreds of public speakers so far on a stage. I'll take the name like Emma Watson. Then there is one person, Simarjeet Singh sir. He is an Indian person and he has been into hospitality for a good time, and I have followed him for a good time. Then this Priyanka Chopra, then Shah Rukh Khan, R Madhavan. Then there is a girl from Haryana, Janvi Pawar. Yes, she
Okay.
knows multiple accents. Multiple accents. Like she
Okay,
is
that girl.
famous
Yeah,
in
yeah,
India.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wonder Girl Janvi. So you have to understand one thing that if you are excited about what you are going to talk, you have to be excited. And
Hmm.
recently, see, every time when you go and address the audience, you must have different tones and modalities on your voice, right? In your voice. Like when you are talking on a very sad topic, like recently what happened in Kashmir, you'll
Hmm.
have a different tone, right? When you want to talk about that you have won the world and everything is in your feet now, you'll be having different tone. So this
Right.
is the fourth thing. But before I move in, like I have described four key factors which I believe as a person, and I have consciously worked
Hmm.
on these four things. What do you think about these four things?
Okay, so I'll tell you. Um, what I think, what I personally struggle with out of the ones that you mentioned, the body language, with body language comes this point of eye contact, maintaining eye contact with the
Mm-hmm.
crowd, right? Look, occasionally glancing at people, and then when you're addressing something, I have experienced this because I've participated in small functions like anchoring and everything, right? To like just get to
Mm-hmm.
know it. And that's how I started to realize that maybe it's not such a bad thing, right? Like how people describe like stage fright and everything. Obviously, whenever you're doing anything, the first things, it's always going to be super nerve wracking. But I think you eventually
Mm-hmm.
get over that phase. But yeah, the points that you mentioned, I would say like eye contact, whenever I make eye contact with somebody in the crowd, my mind goes blank. Absolutely. I'm
Okay.
like, what was I going to talk about? That I can, and then so I came up with this trick. I never make eye contact whenever I'm addressing a crowd. I would just look like right above them, their foreheads or something like that, which kind of gives them an illusion that I am looking at them when I'm,
Mm-hmm.
talking to them, but I'm not really looking at them. And so that has worked for me. So yeah, this is something that um you can say, yeah, this is something I've improved or whatever. And yeah, the tone
Mm-hmm.
really matters a
Yeah.
lot. Emphasizing the words, for example,
Mm-hmm.
because that's now, I think tone is one of the major things that keeps a crowd
Mm-hmm.
hooked. What is she talking about?
Yeah.
And storytelling. Yeah, yeah. Also, the storytelling factor comes into this when you're, if you start something with storytelling, I think we get hooked because, like, ever since we
Mm-hmm.
were kids, we loved, love listening to stories and everything. So I think it's just embedded in our minds to be, um, whenever somebody starts with storytelling and everything, we just get hooked, like, okay, what is this person getting into, like what is the
Mm-hmm.
conclusion and everything, so right. I think that really matters. And yeah, apart from that, I think you have mentioned all the major key points for this one. But yes, okay, so one thing I would like to ask you is, the anxiety is real. If you have to address so many people, even like we are sitting here virtually, we can feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we are posting this for the people. So many people are
Mm-hmm.
going to watch it, they are going to have opinions. And so what are your thoughts on this, like the anxiety, how do you overcome this, if you feel any in the first place, that is.
Yeah, I do feel anxious. See, we are human beings, right? And we
Hmm.
can never be perfectionist. And I never feel that anyone in the world who is asked to be on a stage. It depends, like the experiences you have, and it depends the number of times you have been on that stage. But
Hmm.
for me, it's like still I get anxious. Still, my hands shake, my feet start trembling, and everything happens to me. So there is no doubt about that. And I feel that why you get anxious. So I was watching one of the conversations, and I cannot remember the name of the
Hmm.
guest, but I know the name of the channel, and the channel name is The Diary of a CEO.
Okay.
So if you want, you can follow that channel. He is
Hmm.
such an amazing guy, Steven something. He invites people. Anyway, so why do you get anxious? First of all, it's not about how to overcome anxiety. It's about why do you get anxious? It's all about self-image you have.
Hmm.
So if you are the one who keeps criticizing yourself all the time that I don't look good, my hair, my ear, my body, and whatnot, if you have not accepted yourself yet, you will feel that. You are tend to, you are supposed to feel it in a way that because when you are very judgmental to yourself, you keep feeling that everyone is judging me. So we have to see overcoming anxiety is not a very big thing to do. It's not a rocket science. You can do it, but change your self image. That is something
Hmm.
which I have recently realized because I remember when in 2023, I was sent on a stage somewhere around 50 people, 50, 60, 100 people, and I just forgot everything. What do I really want to talk? What was I supposed to talk there? What was I supposed to address to them? But then after coming back from there, I just asked few questions to myself. I did not curse. Oh, I could have done better. Why did I go blank? Why did it happen to me? No, I just sat, had a glass of water, and asked, why did it happen to me? And the reason I came across that, oh, I was not dressed well. My dress was not good. I was not looking good, something like that. So that
Hmm.
made me anxious. And overcoming anxiety can something, see, anxiety is not good for health. I
Hmm.
have recently come across this fact that it can impact your heart. So it can make you a heart patient. If you are anxious, if you overthink a lot, it can make you a heart patient. So make sure that first of all you change your self-image,
Hmm.
and that will to a big extent it will definitely help you to overcome that anxiety. So
Yeah.
you can do that.
Okay, just one funny thing I remembered. Like you mentioned, right? Anxiety can cause heart problems, right? But knowing the fact that heart problems can be caused by anxiety gives you more anxiety. I'm sorry, it's just
Which
funny.
is understandable. Yes, which is understandable. But
Yeah,
I
but
I
it's
I
a
watched
meme
a
actually.
podcast.
It's a meme, and I kind of relate because, like, yeah. I mean,
Mm.
if somebody tells me like don't stress, otherwise hair thinning can start. So I'll like stress even more. Oh my god, like hair thinning would start, and then it eventually happens. Like it's a loop. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Then
you
you
are
feel
so
like there is
right.
one more thing in the
Hmm.
list on the list to address on. Like you feel like oh, I overthink on a lot of stuff in my real life. I have a lot of things.
Hmm.
Now I have one more thing that if I overthink, I'll be a heart patient. So that is there
Exactly.
on the list.
Yeah. So the thing that you mentioned, being comfortable in your own skin, that's very, very essential because um you need to have that aura of confidence around you when you're a
Mhm,
public speaker,
mhm,
right? I mean, if you're slouching and if your tone is not loud enough or whatever, like people are eventually going to fall asleep. Let's be clear about that. So, like, yeah,
mhm,
because I also struggle with a lot of things like maybe my dress, maybe my hairstyle, maybe I'm just not looking pretty, whatever. So I think I
mhm,
have, and when you think about these things, you're never able to uh, pour out your emotions on what you truly want to speak to audience, and then you're never truly
mhm.
able to connect with them, right? So I think just
Yeah.
accepting who you are, like, okay, this is how I am, and I am pretty, I am confident, I am enough. So
Yeah.
that's what,
Yeah.
that's, I think, yes, that's the first step before anything else, right? In public speaking, the points that you mentioned, even before that, this one comes into play. Being confident in
Yeah.
your own skin, right?
Yes, yes. On skin and accepting yourself, changing the self-image you have.
Hmm.
And I have learned a lot about all these things. And somehow I'm the one who has been working on my self-image.
Hmm.
Being a trainer, people think that she is very confident, she speaks so boldly, she knows everything. No, I have my own insecurities and I have to identify them and I have to address them. Plus, I have to overcome those by working on myself. So if I say that, see, I am not saying that you have to somehow do something which you never like, or I'm
Hmm.
not saying that you have to run in a race where everyone is trying to be artificial. No, if you feel that my communication is not good or my English skill, or maybe when I talk in English I commit some mistakes, I make some mistakes, and that is something which hampers my confidence, better you work on your spoken English, better
Hmm.
you work on your accuracy, right? If you feel that the way I dress is something which hinders my confidence, better learn how to dress, right? See,
Hmm.
I'm not saying that you have to wear expensive and luxurious clothes, no, but at least learn what fits you better, what
Hmm.
makes you feel confident. I can give you an example. So whenever you get ready for a wedding or you get ready for a function, you automatically feel very confident, right? But when you are all the time at your home having loose t-shirts and
Hmm.
pajamas, and then you say, oh, I want to feel confident, that is not going to work for you ever. So you
Right.
have to change gradually and then work on that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's right. Perfectly said, actually, and yeah, very well related. Because if somebody, like, guests are over and I'm like in my PJs, and I kind of get nervous and I quickly just run back and to change into something presentable, right? So yeah, wearing
Yeah,
something
yeah,
presentable, but at the same time, make sure the clothes are something that you feel confident in, because not
yeah,
everything fancy can make you feel comfortable, right? It
definitely.
comfort also plays a very important role in this. That's what I would say.
100%. Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
All right. So
What else we have?
yeah, so coming to the topic, the major topic, the content that a public speaker speaks about, right? How do you write a good
Mhm,
speech? That what are the key factors that you would think these should be mentioned so that people
mhm.
can stay hooked from beginning to end? This is going to be the last question, by the way.
That is all right. You can talk, but okay, so how do you write a good speech? To be honest, I feel like that if you have knowledge
Hmm.
on, first of all, I mentioned one point initially in the conversation when I was stressing the most important points to be a public speaker. You must know your audience. That's what I keep saying all the time.
Hmm.
If I'm talking to Niyati, I must know a little bit about Niyati. I must know that how does she function. Whatever she has put at least on internet, I can just go and just watch her videos to
Hmm.
understand how she thinks. So that will help me to connect better with her, and that will help me to take my conversation keep going. Right?
Hmm.
This is the first thing I believe. It helps you a lot to write a good speech as well. You must know who you are going to connect to. Plus, the topic you are going to pick, please have a really good knowledge on that. It should be like you are the only one who has or who knows most of the things about that.
Hmm.
Get in deep as much as you can, get in depth and understand, right? Relatability matters a lot. So whenever we keep saying that learn with history, learn from history. Why don't we pick? So whatever you give or whatever you want to talk, relate and exemplify with your real life stories. So if
Hmm.
I want to make women understand that financially independence, financial independence matters a lot. Like if you want to run your life on your own terms, I would tell them so many real life stories which I have come across, and those stories have broken my heart. I'll tell them. I will make them visualize the condition I have seen,
Hmm.
and if they are the one who never want to see themselves in that condition, they will be chased. So
Hmm.
learn how to build that relatability in your speech. You have to write something, or you have to point, or you have to make those dots where you can connect people with the story. So write a good story, write that relatable story, right? Have a good research on topics, have good modulation, choose the basic words. I
Hmm.
feel language is not there to, it's not about showcasing what you have here. Like obviously it is there to represent. what you have here, but it is not there to just boast. Like to have very simple words, understand your audience, and understand that you are not a Shashi Tharoor person, you are not Shashi
Hmm.
Tharoor. So just have very simple language and use that language on your speech, and that helps you a lot to connect with your audience.
Hmm.
So these are the points I'll say to
Yeah.
write a good speech.
Yeah,
Give it a good
definitely.
end.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So when you describe relatability, like if you're talking to people in 20s or teenagers, or you're talking to people in 50s, yeah, I think we have to personalize the content, right? Like, I think I relate to you right now because when we are interacting even on YouTube, right? If
Hmm.
somebody in 60s is approaching me, so I have to prepare the questions according to them. So I cannot ask them Gen
Yeah,
Z questions, right? Like, yeah, are you on TikTok? What are the trending songs
yeah,
and everything,
kind
right?
of. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that was a key factor, I think, for sure, because now I relate because, like I mentioned, talking to so many people, so we have to kind of personalize. We have to adjust ourselves
mhm,
according to their interests, getting to know them first and everything. So yeah, that was a
yeah.
great session, Gayatri. I genuinely enjoyed a lot. And yeah, I mean, I hope to see you soon and hopefully on your channel.
For sure, I would love to talk to you, and thank you so much for having me. I wish you all the very
Mm.
best, and to everyone. Yeah,
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Same to
Most
you.
welcome.
And have a great day
Yeah.
ahead.